So we need to begin as a nation and as a continent to really look at how. I hope I can be heard. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Right. Yes, we can hear you. We can hear you.
Okay.
Please go ahead.
All right. Thank you. So we need to be able to begin to see how best we can institutionalize some of these things. And I'm happy with what Abigail has shared. And I've already deleted a number of stuff which she has already touched on. So I'll not go back to them so that we can leave here quickly. So to my friends who are not from Ghana, I say Akwaba, which specially means you are welcome. And my focus is for us to ensure that we build a culture of entrepreneurship and innovation among students, and not only even students, but among faculty as well. Because if the faculty understand where the universities currently are heading to, it makes learning different. It doesn't even have to take the whole university to make policies before there can be transformation. If faculty members understand even their own area of operation and begin to align themselves with the thinking of today, they'll begin the change right from their lecture rooms. They'll begin the change right with the students they interact with. And that is where the changing process will begin to function. Now, I'm sure most of you are aware of this, the triple highlights model, okay? And where in real innovation and real development of countries cannot happen if these three institutions are not collaborating. We need to have the universities collaborating with government, collaborating with industry, industry collaborating with government, collaborating with the universities, academia. When the universities are collaborating with government, that is where, through the government begins to give strategic funding, and there are strategic demands, government also which the universities can be able to begin to do certain things that will turn our country around. When the universities are interacting with industry, we get product innovations, we get new form of things that are coming up. So I think Madam Simande was asking a question, if industries are not listening to the academia, and Abigail answered beautifully that is it about communication. If industry is communicating with the universities, I can tell you our industries will function differently. And the universities will also undertake proper applied research. Not research that will end up on the bookshelves of the university, but research that will be translated into building our country. And that's where jobs will be created. That is where the taxes will come in. That is where the government will also get the needed benefit from both the industry and academia. So it's a cross-functional process, and I'm very happy for this engagement that we are having. If we are going to begin to institutionalize vocation and entrepreneurship training as a model as part of the higher educational system, we need to begin to understand each other. And from where I sit, currently we've been working on we call it the trilateral cooperation. We've been working on this model within the last almost 3 years, together with academia, together with industry, together with government. And gradually we are coming to a common grounds where we can be able to build something that will be beneficial to all these three, which are in the triple highlights model. And this is very key. Recently, a team of us were in Israel as we've tried to finalize our building this triple highlights model. And we are coming up with a system where we've now, the Ministry of Environment, Science, Technology, and Innovations, together with the National Entrepreneurship and Innovation Program, plus the Ministry of Communication, the Ministry of Trade and Industry, and other key, and the Ministry of Education, together and with the various academic bodies, plus the Association of Ghana Industries and other bodies. We've been working around the clock. We want to begin to be able to develop an innovation authority that will drive where all the research that is done by the academia will go through what we call the GEC Center, Ghana International Research Commercialization Center. Where when it goes there, we want to ensure that every innovation that is coming from the academia is well supported. So we help the students, we help the institutions to be able to develop these models and these innovations. Then the industries that will be able to adopt these innovations, we can be able to help them in shaping them out. Then governments will help transform these innovations into full-blown businesses. Once they become full-blown businesses, we put funding into them, and this begins the idea of creating massive jobs coming from the various institutions. And this is going to be deliberate, this is going to be targeted, and this is going to be rightly funded. And the right people need to be involved for us to be able to do this. And we are pushing government to ensure that this come to pass. You know, as part of building a strong entrepreneurship ecosystem, we realize that you need certain key factors. And the first on the radar is what we call talent. And where can you get the best of talents? The best of talents can be gotten from academia, the universities. This is where you have the pool of talent. This is where we can be able to build our nation from. So if a government is not paying attention to the universities, this is the time. And from where we sit, we are beginning a process, we are beginning a movement that will ensure that we can be able to push and help build the talents that are in these universities. For me, I see every university as an incubation and innovation center for us to be able to prepare talent to come out. So where these right talents are well prepared, we build their innovations, we build their entrepreneurship capabilities from the universities, we'll help them build their intellectual properties, we grant them market access, and put these innovations into the marketplace, develop it fully as full-blown businesses, and well established as whether private or public sector institutions, and this will rake in the capital, this will rake in the value, the money that we are looking for as a nation. Other countries have done it, but most often the talent here go through a cycle. They go through and pour, they go and study and memorize all the notes they need to memorize, and memorize the lecturer's notes, write the exam and pass for the lecturer. They go back into the workplace, forgotten all the principles they have learned, which is not applied to industrial principles, and they go in, they are half-baked, industries are not employing them, and we begin to have a challenge. From where I sit, where within the last 4 years, we've been able to run training for over 80,000 young businesses, I realized that jobs are available, but sometimes the human resource base is lacking. Though we may cry that we have a number of graduates that are unemployed, I've also seen a number of SMEs, micro, small, and medium-scale enterprises, a lot of them in our country, who are not getting the right human resources to work with. And it stems from two angles. Number one, they don't have enough money to employ the right qualified persons. Graduates from the universities, these young businesses do not have the funding. So most of them employ some few school dropouts or SHS, high school leavers, and give them, that is where they can be able to pay the right remuneration. So this is where they reach out to. So they are not reaching out to the right qualified individuals from the universities to be able to work for them. Then we have the individual graduates who also think that the remuneration is low and that they will prefer a bigger companies to work with. And these bigger companies also see these graduates as below their standard. They don't have the time to train them, so they are also not employed. So we begin to have a gap for which we must be able to work towards it, to be able to fill these gaps. And that is why there's the need for us to collaborate very well with industry, with academia, to see how best this gap can be filled. And it is very, very needful for us to be able to move on to do this. Vocational and entrepreneurship innovation is becoming the order, and Abigail has taken us through some of the statistics for you to be able to be aware. So I decided to take mine out because virtually they were almost the same statistics that I was going to churn out. So there's the need for us to begin to prepare the students very well. I was telling some students that if technology or innovation can replace you in the corporate marketplace, then you are an endangered species when it comes to the corporate environment. And a number of students are becoming an endangered species in the corporate environment. So we need to begin to prepare them way ahead of time before they step out of the corporate environment. And we are talking about innovation. We are only thinking about connecting the dots, the ideas, the experiences, the interactions, and the people. So every university, and I'm happy from my rounds, I've been visiting a number of institutions. Essentially, you are doing amazing preparing your students to meet the corporate environment. I have seen, I've been with Koforidua Technical University. I've been with the University of Cape Coast. I've been with KNUST. It's not holistic as a university, but some aspects with the incubation programs that are ongoing, which is not targeting the whole university. Essentially, is targeting the whole university. But we need to be able to push the other universities to begin to do a cross-functional program that begin to transform the entirety of the university, beginning from every aspect of their being. When we want to institutionalize vocational and entrepreneurship training, these things are very needful to us because first, in the process of building a strong entrepreneurship ecosystem in the universities, we need to be able to do this and do it well because first of all, if we want to do it well, we need to begin to create the condition for students to be innovative. Every university must begin to create the condition for students to be innovative. So no matter how the child is wired, if the university environment is prepared in a way to be able to make the student innovative, make the student think technical, make the student think entrepreneurial, it depends on the conditions. So let's ask ourselves, are we creating that condition, that environment for students? As soon as they step in the university, they know that something is happening. They know that something really is going on. And it causes them, it pushes them to begin to conform to the traditions that are in the university. When the university leaves things to be as usual, as business as usual, when the student comes, they follow the same cycle of trend. So we must begin to create the conditions for students to be innovative. Number two, we must help students to translate ideas into businesses. We must help students to translate ideas into businesses. And how do we do this? As we move forward, I will share how we can do this. Number three, we must increase the students' knowledge of available opportunities. Every lecturer must be able to, in the context of your course or your program, you must be able to do proper analysis and research to share with students of the available opportunities in that field so that they can be able to help prepare themselves to face and be able to tap into these opportunities. Okay, Abraham Lincoln said, I'll prepare myself and wait so that when the opportunities come, I'll fit into it. And that's what some people call lack. But it is preparation meeting opportunities. There are a number of opportunities in Africa. There are a number of opportunities in Ghana. But it depends on how we make these students to be able to understand and know these opportunities that are existing. The fourth one, attracting investment to fund student skills and ideas. I'm sure someone was asking at Chelsea how be able to fund all these. When the university is prepared and is wired that I want to cause a transformation in my school, I can tell you the right investment will begin to come around. The right investment will begin to follow. But when you sit there thinking that nothing will come, so I'll also do nothing, the university remains the same way. So we need to begin to understand these things, and I'll later share how some of these things come. So it's, let me say that it's something that is a responsibility for educators to do this. For investors who come in, entrepreneurs who are outside who also come in, policymakers who also do their bit to ensure that we do this. So where do we innovate as a university? How do we begin to institutionalize vocational entrepreneurship training as part of our model? First of all, we need to look at our mission as a university. The mission which was set out in the 1957 as a university. Are you still holding on to that vision or mission statement? Probably the university was set up to train teachers because at a point in time, the nation needed teachers. But if you look at it, is your mission as a university still relevant in the prevailing world today? If it is not, we need a transformation of your mission and your vision statement of the objectives for which the university and the core mandates the university wants to take. So your mandate, the university's orientation, everything must begin to transform. This is how we begin to make impacts in the lives of the students that we train. It must affect our curriculum, our programs or courses that we offer. Even the teaching approach and methodology must begin to change. You know, I was in one university, I will not mention the name, and before COVID hits, I did a presentation that a time will come, we will need to stay home and give lectures. The lecturers were laughing. And just less than 8 months later, we began to experience lockdown in Ghana. 8 months later, the schools were off. 8 months down the line, lecturers have to begin to use different forms of virtual reality to be able to teach children, the students. And here we were, teachers who do not even know how to use PowerPoints. We have lecturers, we have professors who cannot even on their own undertake to have their own PowerPoints done. So we need to begin to have that revolutionary approach to learning. So our teaching methods and everything must begin to be different in the way we do things. Student orientation must begin to be transformed. We need to begin to change students' orientation. The mindset in Africa, we need to change. And we should have a core subject that will begin to do a mind transformation right from level 100 and begin to tune the student mind towards another direction. This is an orientation exercise, and I'm sure Ashesi does it. As soon as you arrive on the day, we must be able to change the mentality and begin to tell them that, look, where the world is heading to, we are in the world of innovation and entrepreneurship. We are in the world of building skills. We are in the world of skills enhancement. So you need to have a skill in hand. Can you imagine I have in my office a national service person, fresh graduate, and cannot even use Excel sheets, does not know how to enter data in Excel. I'm not just talking about just 2019 national service persons. And I will not mention the university the person comes from. The person cannot put together a data in an Excel sheet. We need to begin to have a different orientation, train the mindset so that the quality of our output will be different. And I'm sure many organizations are bearing testimony of what Ashelse is churning out because they've gone through mind liberation, mind transformation of the children to position them somewhere. The idea of just attend lectures, read your notes and write exams and have your A's is gone. We are in a period where we must build people to have key skills that will fit in the global marketplace. We are in a system where we train minds that can begin to use ideas to transform the world through entrepreneurship, through vocation, through technical education. So what we need to do? What we need to do as a university? Let's say just about 3 things, because I took other things out, because in the area of skills and all that, Abigail mentioned in her presentation. But what is what I want? I'm encouraging a number of universities, and I just 3 days ago, I helped one of the universities to launch their incubation center. So I'm urging universities in Ghana and universities in Africa, make sure that you set up an incubation center to nurse skills and ideas. And this should run parallel for the academic work. This one is non-scoring. It is not something that students are going to write exams on. A number of universities say, oh, we have also introduced entrepreneurship. You go, it's a full course, where at the end of the semester, you write an exam and it becomes just like an ordinary subject. But we need to set up an incubation center to nurse skills and ideas. Then we can have an innovation hub to be able to grow the innovations from all the faculties and departments. So this will not be put under the business departments, because entrepreneurship and innovation is not just about the business department. It should be a center on its own that harnesses ideas from every department, every faculty, whether in the faculty of botany, zoology, theater and dance, whichever department. Great ideas can come from this area that will be mind transformational, that can create jobs for people. Then we set up an accelerator program to drive innovations to industry. So now we tell industries that, industries, you need anything that you want innovations on. Let us know. We can be able to help you with students who are innovating in these areas. That can be able to help you to be able to have a research and development for some of the areas that you want to look at. And the industries will be ready to pay for some of this research for the universities to conduct them for them in their behalf. Ashesi has an incubation program, because today she was talking on skills, but she made mention of it. Abigail mentioned it. Now, UCC has something, but it is under the School of Business. And I've told them that if you want it to have a holistic approach, let it be a full center that caters for all the departments in the university, not only under the School of Business or the business department. We need to be able to do. And it has a whole process that it goes through. Students are introduced to pre-incubation. They go through the incubation program. They go through coaching and mentoring. They go through how they can be able to, when they understand what they are doing, they begin to look for ideas in their subject area of study. And I have met some students who have developed very innovative ideas around tourism, around theater and dance. These are the unconventional areas of business. And they are doing amazingly well. So we do a pre-incubation and incubation process and post-incubation. By the time the child spends 4 years in the university and they exit, they are already ready to either, even if they have to work for someone, they know how to manage somebody's business. But they will be more prepared to be able to run their own businesses as they move on. These are really, really important for us as a nation. At our side, at the National Entrepreneurship and Innovation Program. So I asked myself, is there help for universities to do this kind of thing? Yes, there is help. Let me take the case of Ghana. You know, the government of Ghana, through the National Entrepreneurship Program, National Entrepreneurship and Innovation Program, we have designed a program which we were supposed to launch, then COVID came in. And this year, we are working hard to be able to ensure that we can launch it as soon as the government is fully formed. Every university, within the final year, when they are running their thesis, their project work, their final thesis, their final project work, every university will select their top 20, we have the top 10 undergraduate project work, then top 5 postgraduate project work, and submit to our office, that the National Entrepreneurship and Innovation Program. We'll have a team of academia, industry, and business development experts who will go through and be able to assemble. So we are beginning with the 40 universities in the country. That's the plan. And if every university is giving us 15 project work, well-refined thesis, that is solving a need in the country. Then we help them transition the project work or the thesis into a full-blown business. Then, so they use the 1 year of the national service, especially with the undergrads. They use the 1 year of national service to be able to work on the business idea. They will be receiving their national service allowance while they work on the idea. Then, once that is done after the national service, by then we have done the prototype and all that. Then we invest in. We are having a partnership with the venture capital. We are developing what we call catalytic funding. Then we invest into the business that has been selected and have been able to, within the 1 year, have been able to transition it from the paper products into a full-blown business plan that is ready to, and have test marketed it and is ready to go to the market. If you look at that, it means that every year we are having close to over 500 businesses coming out from the universities. And what we are doing is that the universities are supposed to own equity in these businesses. Can you imagine that for 10 years to come, if we have close to over 10,000 businesses, and each of these, the university owns 10% share in each of these 10,000 businesses? The university doesn't have to look far in having funding for their research and development, having funding for other activities on campus. This is where we want to also create an avenue for the universities to invest into the programs of students and to be able to make money from these businesses that will be pushing and giving all the strength for them to become successful. So through the NEIP program, there's an opportunity. And I want to share this also with Ashesi that now NEIP has signed a collaboration with the National Service Secretariat. So your students who are able to successfully create a business whilst they are in school, they have the opportunity to do the national service for themselves. And they receive the national service allowance while they work on their own business ideas. This is available now. We have prototyped it. A number of students have applied this year. And we want to let you also know, you can tell your students that now they can run, have their national service for their own selves and receive the government allowance at the same time. And NEIP will be the one they have to go through to get this offer. Then we can monitor their progress within that 1 year while they are having their national service. Whether they are not staying home and sleeping, but they are seriously working on their business idea. So they'll be sending monthly reports to NEIP. We believe that when these things are institutionalized, it will push the university to push the student to begin to do something. Apart from the government, the venture capital trust fund, the university itself, when it positions itself very well, that I'm also institutionalizing these processes for the whole university, I can tell you there are a number of industry partners who will be ready to put some form of money in this place. And we also have quite a number of development partners that we have been working with who are also ready to put money into these things if the universities are really serious to do it. We have partners like GIZ, we have the Mashaf from the Israeli Foreign Affairs, we have the MasterCard Foundation, we have the United Nations Development Program, Netherlands Development Organization, SMV, and quite a number of development partners who are ready if we are beginning to seriously institutionalize some of these systems to operate alongside the academic work of the students. We need a revolution. We need something to be done to change the face of education in Africa, to change the face of education in Ghana. And we, from the side of government, are ready and doing our bit, pushing for policies, pushing for other ideas that can be able to help these things to be made easier. So currently, we have an ongoing Ghana Startup Arts, which we are fighting. I'm the chair to the Ghana Arts Committee. We are working around to get a number of incentives for young people to begin to be innovative, so they can get a number of policies to help them to be able to churn out their ideas and to help build this country. Friends, the future of work is changing. The future of work is transforming. 3D, nanotechnology, artificial intelligence is transforming our globe. So we need that transformation to affect our universities as well, our higher learning institutions as well. As I'm sitting here, I'm sitting somewhere in Kumasi because some young people today launch a program for kids within the ages of 8 to 15 years for the summer school. These kids are learning robotics, they are learning coding, they are learning baking, they are learning cooking. After a full semester of hard day work, a full term of learning, we want them to begin to think outside the box. So I came here to share my few thoughts with the kids. That's why I find myself today. We need to begin. The transformation is not even only for our university. It starts from KG. And we believe that government will do its part. But today we are talking about the higher institutions. We need to transform our college. As Albert Einstein said, we cannot do the same thing over and over again, expect different results. We cannot continue the 1957 university education model and think that we can churn out graduates who are thinking on their feet, graduates who are independent thinkers, graduates who are thinking entrepreneurial, graduates who are thinking to change the globe. We cannot do that. That would be madness. That would be insanity. We need to begin to be bold. So today, I urge academia, industry, and from our side, government, for us all to create real impact together. And this is where we can make Africa work again. This is how we can make Ghana work again. I'm grateful and thank you so much for your time.
Oh, thank you, Mr. Franklin Owusu Kakari. That is a wonderful session, and that was very great contribution. I think this presentation is also one of the outstanding ones I've learned today, which I believe we've learned a lot. I think before we'll ask questions, I think let me read some comments. There are some comments that we need to read. I think someone are saying that the only challenge, that is from Dr. Violet Makuku. She says that the only challenge is others who could be trained in polytechnics. If it's the, I don't know, is that if colonial link, that is, if it is linked with colonial, only those who have lower grades who should go there.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then there is another one too that says that entrepreneurial training has been happening in polytechnics. Exposure to live training, real life situations, on the job, if I'm right, OGET industry exposure, job creators fortified with their hands on skills. They start small and grow into big enterprises through TVET training. And we also have another person here. He said that they should use their departmental sector and advisory committees. And then I think my last person I have here is Dr. Makuku. She says it is sad that only 22 people are on these platforms, and I wish to know how many countries are here. I believe so well that I think I'm very sure it has to do with our challenge with our network access, but we're going to resolve this, which I believe that a new link will be sent for tomorrow's session so that a lot of people will be eligible to join so that we can all have a bigger session on this platform. From Rose Zibandi, he said, I wanted to ask questions, but I have no hand function. Just wanted to check if we have instances where academic, okay, that is earlier read. Now back to Mr. Franklin. I would want to ask a question, please.
All right.
Yeah, please. My question to you is that with what you said, I believe you were speaking so much from that of the industry and the need for which institutions and then academics need to bring a lot of interventions in their draft of their curriculum and changing certain mindsets of the ideology of how they construct their education system. But I want to ask something because I had an interaction with one doctor, is a professor, and he was making a session that with that of the academians, what they do is that they only give that of the theory and the practice. And then the others is left for the industry to also add to it, to give these students the platform to be able to exhibit what they have been taught. So meaning that from his point of view, the training or the formation does not only end with that of the those in the academia, but the industry should give them a bigger platform to showcase and also to add to what they have already been taught. Will you react to this question, or do you want to add to it?
Yeah, I think it's needful, okay, but you know, the industry is very busy making money. And the problem I have with them, most of them now are saying that they don't have that time to train because they spend quite a lot of money to train a person. Once they gain the experience, the next thing, they are looking for another job. They're looking for another placement. They're looking for another place to go. So they end up training people and they leave. So they do not have that. That's why we need to be able to really push for proper internship program so that it can really, really help. But I don't think the university should only do theory and think that somebody else should be able to come and prepare them. We need to be holistic in our approach, in our methodology, in our way of educating them. And let us be very deliberate when we are doing the practical industrial attachments. Okay. Due to this, we're getting a lot of concern from various bodies. So we started to put together something we call the graduate internship program, where a number of the businesses that we support who are really in need of human capital, we can be able to push a number of students. So graduates, it will have a portal. Students, it will push it to the various universities. Students will sign up for internship within their own region or districts. Then we post them to these existing micro, small, and medium scale enterprises so that they can be able to get the right practical, because if the industry is really big, sometimes you go there, they don't have the time for you. But if you enter to have your industrial attachment with a bit smaller company, because they need human capital, they're able to pay attention for you, and they push you to also have a hands-on practice in working with them. So it's needful, but we cannot leave the entire practical aspect of the work to industry, thinking that they should be able to shape the people. That is why we are having this problem that we are having today. Let us be deliberate about it, and let us also push for the student to be able to ensure that these aspects are all completed. Thank you.
Anyway, noted. Any more questions? Any more questions?
I wanted to say to Sir Franklin, if I was not in this meeting, I don't know how I would know about all this. And I don't know, in Ghana here, how many people know about your existence and what you are doing? What have you done to disseminate information so that people know? I came in Ghana 2016. I work with the Association of African Universities. This is my very, very first time to hear about you. And I think I should get your contact details so that I can also engage you to have another bigger session with...
Okay. All right, thank you.
Franklin, yes.
Yeah, thank you very. I think
Adamakuku, you will get it. You don't worry.
Yes, we've been in existence for, let's say, previously it was there as the youth enterprise support, but they couldn't really push hard. So this government remodified it. So we've been very actively since 2017. But within that 2017, we've been moving. We do a number of visits to universities, a number of engagements with. So now we have introduced what we call the Student Entrepreneurship Initiative from high school. And we want to also push for the university. We have done about 19. We have launched the program in about 19 universities currently. We are hoping that we will get to the rest of the universities. And just last week, I personally visited the university that is hosting this program. So we are trying to push. So I'll also be glad to be able to meet you and see how best we can push from there. We have drawn up a comprehensive program for the year. I have been behind the scene because previously we had a different leader. He's now the Deputy Minister of Finance. So I'm more or less acting, and some of us have gone through this. We know we are passionate about it. So we are ready to push it everywhere. And we are really pushing hard. So I'm sure by close of year, by close of next year, every student in Ghana will know about all the activities that we are doing. Thank you very much.
Okay. Thank you. Is Abigail Warbeck online?
Yes, I'm still
Abigail
here.
Warbeck.
I'm here.
Do you have any question to Mr. Franklin Wusu?
No, I don't. I think I share the same. Hold on a second. I think I share the same sentiments as Dr. Makuku, that we didn't know a lot about some of these opportunities, and it will be great to get Franklin's contact details to see how we can follow up beyond today.
Thank you, Dr. Warbeck. I've contacted Dr. Gordon. The two of us have been on a number of platforms and helping shape the Ghanaian ecosystem. So I've told him that I'll personally come to Ashesi because I'm really, really interested in what you guys are doing there. So I and Dr. Gordon have met a couple of times, so I'll come there.
Okay.
And pay my dues.
Yes, once you're talking to Gordon, that's he's the best person to talk to. He's the one in charge of all of that. So that's great. Thank you.
All right. Thank you.
Abigail, are you online?
Yes, I
Abigail.
am. Yes.
Abigail, you are supposed to contact me for their contacts. Abigail, you are breaking the rules.
Oh, I mean, I just said it here. I didn't. Oh, okay.
No.
Don't worry.
Said
Don't
once
worry.
I know Dr. Gordon, that's okay.
That's okay. That's
So
okay.
yeah,
Well noted. That's okay. That's okay. Any more questions, please? Just the floor is still open.
Allow me to again compliment University of Energy and Natural Resources for organizing this event. You have done well, particularly this unit. Thank you. You have done extremely well. Imagine if we can do it at a larger scale and replicate it. It's the kudos go to you. I thank you really. Well. Thank you.
Thank you.
We thank you all so much.
Yes, and also the combination of the speakers. They are coming from different relevant areas, and they are also coming from different countries. And this is highly laudable. Congratulations. Yes, David Sechi and company, you have done extremely well. You have done well.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. We also thank you for giving us that support, because had it not been you on this platform, the program wouldn't have been success. And we thank you, Abigail, for your team supporting us as well from Ashesi and AAU, Association of African University, being a proud support to this program. Mr. Ransford, Dr. Makuku, you've all played a part to this. And I also thank all the panelists that have spoken. In fact, you've also contributed to today's session. And I believe we've learned so much. Myself, in fact, I've written a lot, which we are also going to work on. And I would say that may God bless you all, because it's had it not been God through you, it wouldn't have been success. So at this moment,
there's the hand up. Irene Brew, there's the hand up. Please say David.
Okay,
yes, please. Could I ask a question, please?
Yeah, so we have Madam Irene Brew Riverson from University of Westminster in London. Madam, you can talk.
Thank you. I just wanted to ask Mr. Owusu Karikari about partnerships with universities outside of Ghana, please. I'm sorry I joined a little late, so I didn't hear him talk about that, if he did.
All right, thank you very much. We are really looking at also partnering with the university.
I'm sorry, Mr. Owusu Karikari, I think you're on mute.
Sorry. We've had a couple of, it's our desire to have partnership with the universities outside as well. First, we seek to partner the universities in Ghana. We've been approached by Portsmouth University from the United States and another university from Germany. So we are very open, because we want to get all that we need, the kind of partnership, so that we can exchange. Stanford University also has approached us, especially with our entrepreneurship approach, with their seed program, and how we can be able to ensure that a number of Ghanaian entrepreneurs can be able to go through that model as well. So we are very open to have partnership with the universities outside the country as well.
Thank you, sir. I will observe the protocol and go through the right channels. Thank you for your answer.
All right, Doc. Thank you.
So Dr. Irene, you are really welcome. I think you've missed most of this session, which has been so packed, but I think we have the pre-recorded and the recorded ones, which was streamed live on YouTube. So after, we are going to send the link to you, so you can also access to play what the sessions that we had for the day.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you too. I think I will leave the podium for the Dean of Students of the University of Energy to also make some session of remarks so that we can end the session. So Dean, take over, please.
Thank you very much, Dave, for standing in for me. I had to do some few things. Thank you very much. Panel members, I want to once again apologize for the few challenges we had, in the start of the whole program on registration and all that. We believe that some of these things will be corrected so that tomorrow, God willing, we will not have this hitches again. But on the whole, I think it has been successful, even though the number of people we were looking for, we couldn't get them. But it has been quite insightful. I have learned a lot from the speakers, especially Dr. Violet Makuku. You've made a very good points. And I believe that you will be with us tomorrow and then Wednesday so that we all share. I believe that this things you are doing is for our young ones. It's not for ourselves. So that we can actually train students who will actually be able to have something doing when they leave the shores of the school. So I want to, on behalf of the Vice Chancellor, once again, thank you for being with us. And I pray that you make yourself available for tomorrow's section. God bless you and have a good day. Thank you so very much.
Congratulations, Dean.
Thank you.
Thank you all for coming.
Irene, you can get hold later.